This is my 2014 interview with Kenny Wayne Shepherd. In the interview, you hear what his first guitar was, how he chose the sidemen for his 2014 CD, and a lot more. Here he is, Kenny Wayne Shepherd, on a return appearance to the Marc Berman Show.
Kenny Wayne Shepherd has sold millions of albums worldwide. He's had 6 number-one blues albums and a string of number-one mainstream rock singles. His acclaimed CD documentary, Project 10 Days Out, Blues from the Backroads, was the top-selling blues album of 2007.
And in my 2014 interview that you're listening to right now with Kenny Wayne Shepherd, we discussed Going Home, his 2014 CD release, and the people that are on this CD and the tracks that he chose to record. Wait till you hear this. This is one extraordinary musician with some great friends.
Going Home on Concord Records, available on Amazon and wherever legal digital downloads are found. Want to know what inspired one of the most gifted guitarists of his generation? Download this CD. Kenny has some friends helping him out on the CD as well. We're going to talk about that. Please welcome back to the Marc Berman Show, bluesman extraordinaire, Kenny Wayne Shepherd. Kenny, welcome.
Hey, man, how's it going?
Everything's great. Going Home, it's back to basics blues done right. One of my personal favorites, I love The Life I Live with Thunderbirds, Kim Wilson. So every cut is powerful and should be a part of everybody's collection. How did you choose these 12 tracks to put on with so much to pull from? How did you choose these?
Well, man, I just looked at some of the songs of my youth, the stuff that I grew up listening to, and, I just really wanted to go back and pay tribute to some of my biggest heroes and the people that influenced me as a young child to become the musician that I am today. And, choosing the particular songs, I wanted to find songs that I felt like hadn't been recorded a million times by a million different people. The lyrics were still relevant, sounded like they could have been written yesterday, had good grooves, and, obviously ones that I thought we could do a good version of. So all of those things kind of factored into the song selection for this record.
Born Under a Bad Sign. Awesome. They all are. You know what? It's just it is truly a great CD. Okay. On this CD, you got help from some friends. Robert Randolph from the Family Band, Warren Haynes, Pastor Brady Blade Sr., the Rebirth Brass Band, and Ringo Starr. How does Ringo fit into this?
Well, Ringo has been a friend of mine now for, 11 or 12 years, maybe more. And he asked me to play on his last record that he put out in 2012, and I did 2 songs on that record. And so when it came time for me to do this record, he returned the favor. And he's a big blues fan. I mean, every guest artist on this record is obviously very talented musicians, but they all have a deep appreciation and understanding for blues music. And I knew that everyone would make a significant and unique contribution to the songs that they played on.
And to my listeners, with the list I just gave you, more reason to download this CD. It's incredible. All right. Took you 11 days in Shreveport, your hometown, to record Going Home. Was it time off from touring? And how did this all come about to get everybody together and the studio you used and all this?
Well, it was right in the middle of touring. So, we had like an 11-day break in our schedule. And rather than send everybody home, we took the tour bus down to Louisiana and went into the studio and cut this record. So it was a lot of fun. It was pretty spontaneous. All of it was recorded the old-fashioned way. We used 2-inch tape and no auto-tune and no click tracks. And
really?
Yeah, and we played in the same room together with all the instruments in the same room together with, guitar amps bleeding into the drum mics and the drum mics
really
into the vocal mics. Yeah, we did it because I wanted to keep the music, the spirit of the original recordings intact.
Kenny, that doesn't happen anymore anywhere.
Well,
I mean, you're in the industry. That is rare. So this CD that we're hearing is is back to basics blues. This is exactly the way it was done. You probably had the drum kit muted behind. That's it. And maybe not even that, right?
No, the drum kit was just wide open, man. Yeah, so there wasn't a whole lot of baffling and isolation going on. But that's how a lot of these guys had to do it back in the day before all these studios had multiple isolation booths and things like that. So I wanted to do it the old-fashioned way and the way the music is supposed to be done.
Kenny, that's awesome. And wow, I didn't know all of that, but I'm glad I do now, and now so does my audience. Do you like being on the road?
Well, yeah, I mean, the essence of my band is the live performance. We make records so that we can take the music out on the road and play for the people. That's what it's all about. So we certainly enjoy it.
So what was your first guitar?
Well, my very first guitar was a Yamaha SE 150. It was like a wannabe Stratocaster that had one pickup and a volume knob. It wasn't that great of a guitar, but it was good enough to get me started.
And if you were the age of some of the bluesmen that you're working with who are older, around my age, their first guitar would have been a Sears Silvertone. So
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. Was the first riff you played on your guitar when you first got it, was it, hold on, I'm going to try and guess, Smoke on the Water? I'm wrong.
Well, I think that's actually everybody's. You know what? I learned how to play that riff on a little toy plastic acoustic guitar with nylon strings. So actually, I put my first real notes together on a guitar, but it was a toy guitar when I was like 4 or 5 years old, and I was playing those notes long before I got my first real electric guitar.
Was there a riff that actually got you started? So is there something you were hearing as growing up that you said, I need to pick up a guitar, I need to play this? Was there one song that did it, or just a type of music?
Well, I was always attracted to the guitar as an instrument. And, I met Stevie Ray Vaughan when I was 7 years old. I got to see him play, and that changed my life. From that point forward, all I wanted to do was, really get a guitar and try and learn how to play with that kind of passion and intensity that he had. But I was always attracted to any kind of genre of music that featured guitar. But blues is very guitar-heavy music, and there's something about the genre, I think, because you're just supposed to play the music straight from your heart, and that's something that I think everybody can connect with, regardless of your age. And so I connected with the music at a very young age.
KWS Signature Strat. How many will you bring on tour with you? In other words, when we look at the side of the stage and you have the rack, how many guitars do you have with you?
Right now in the rack, I think there's either 8 or 10, but there's more than that available. We just don't pull them out every day. We pull out what's necessary for the show that we're playing at the time.
Okay, my audience, a lot of guitar players, a lot of band members, a lot of indie artists, and this is just the stuff they like to know, and I personally, myself. Kenny Wayne Shepherd, you're awesome, and I'm glad you came back to the Marc Berman Show.
Hey, everybody, this is Kenny Wayne Shepherd, and you're listening to the Marc Berman Radio Show.
The Marc Berman Show is always on. Go to marcberman.com for our podcasts of our past shows and interviews.